Okay, good morning everybody. My name I'm called teacher Amulan Ishaak, and today we are going to look at vectors. So today most especially we are going to look at additional vectors. You can see from the diagram above, we can see that the displacement PO, which is this one here, followed by the displacement OQ, which is this one here, is the same as the displacement PQ. This is an example of vector addition, and you can write PQ equals PO, which is this one here, plus OQ. But PO is the same thing as PO, is the same thing as OQ, but in opposite what direction. So in vectors, an arrow is very important because it shows us it indicates a particular direction. So in other words, the OP is the same thing as PO but in opposite direction. So in vectors, when you are writing OP, is the same thing as negative what? PO. Why? Because this arrow is going upwards. So when you are coming backwards, it means that we shall have to create a negative, but when you are going it in frontwards, meaning that there is no need of putting what? Negative sign. But when you are coming backwards, it means that there should be what? A negative sign with vector, because the direction is not the same. Okay, so for this case, the same thing as OQ is going like this. So when you want to find the QO, so QO is the same thing as negative of what? Negative of OQ. So let us look at example number 1, which says that given that OP is equal to 13.7 and OQ is equal to 5.2. So they want us to calculate the length of PQ. Okay, from the Cartesian plane, for example, this is my y-axis. I might have this one here is going to be my x-axis, and this one here is my y. Assuming that I'm having my origin O here, and also I have maybe I can have my point P here, which is going to be P, which is I can call it 13 what? 17. I also have my Q. I can have my point Q here, which is the same thing as 5.2. Then I can move from OQ going here to P, and the same thing I can also move from this point here, which we call it as Q, and I call this one OQ. So the displacement, if I want to move from P to Q, it means that I will have to move something like this, going like this. So meaning that the displacement PQ, which is this one here, this one is the same thing as PO, we move like this, then plus OQ, which is that one there. So for that case, we will have let us solve. Okay, so for that case we can solve. We need to find the PQ, and say that PQ is the same thing as PO plus OQ, but PO is the same thing as OP but in an opposite direction, so it is going to be negative OP then plus OQ. So for that case, we can now substitute. We know our OP, which was supposed to be 13, 17, then plus OQ, which is supposed to be 5, 5, 2. So we add Since this negative is outside the brackets, it is a scalar, and we know that a scalar multiplies everything in a bracket, so it is going to be negative 13, negative 17, then plus 5, 2. We can create a single bracket, so it is going to be negative 13 plus 5, then also 17 plus what? Plus 2. So for that case, this is a negative, so the answer will be negative 13 plus 5, that is going to be negative 8, then negative 17 plus 2, it will be negative what? Negative 15. So the whole of this thing here is our PQ. Okay, so for that case, now they want us to find the length of the length of PQ. So to get the length of PQ, which is noted as PQ what? Sorry, it is noted as PQ magnitude. So the length is the same thing as modulus, and it's the same thing as the what? The same thing as modulus and the same thing as magnitude. Okay, so we need to find the length of PQ, and we know that the formula of finding the length PQ, length is given as the root of x squared then plus y squared. So for this case, we have our x squared, which is going to be negative 18. So this one here, it is going to be the root of negative 8, that everything squared, plus the root of negative 15, at everything what? Squared. So for that case, we shall have the root of negative 8 squared, which is going to be 64, plus the root of negative 15 squared, which is going to be 200 what? 25. So when we add, we'll have something like the root of 289. And what is the square root of 289? That one will give us 17. But since we don't have units, we can leave our answer in terms of what? Units. So this one here, it was the length of PQ. Okay, so for that case, we will have now to look for more examples. Let us look for more examples, or I can give you an exercise. Okay, try this one here as the exercise, which says that given that OA is 37 and AB is 5, negative 2, where O is the origin, find the position vector of B and hence find the OB. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you so much. I remain teacher Amulan Ishaak. May God bless you.